What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the La Liga career mode. It's episode number 13, return today with a brand new season as our third year at the Mestalla gets underway. Going into the Champions League for the first time since 2020 and our first time in the say with a starting budget of 145 million. Wow. Now, I knew it was going to be big because we left 35 million in the budget last season, but that means our starting budget would have been 110. I was expecting around 100, not 145. And it's a good thing we have got that money because, well, we need to invest in squad depth for the new season. Going into the Champions League with an incredibly thin squad. On the back of the departures on free transfers, we are down to the bare bones before a ball has even been kicked. Only 3 players in the resis. And yeah, there's no doubt about it for the new season. We are going to need to improve on the squad depth. I'd like to bring in maybe 1 star player, possibly even 2. Now we've got our amount of money to work with. But the biggest goal for the new season is adding to the squad depth. We are far too light to compete on 3 different fronts this season. So a few youth players got given contracts at the end of last season after asking for pro deals. I'll try and loan them all out for the, oh thank God, Chan retains potential to be special despite the injury. I'll try and loan them all out for the new season, but I won't be able to loan anyone out until I've made some signings first. We haven't got enough squad depth right now to handle any kind of departures. Now, with players and deals coming at the end of the year, you got 5 players here. I think personally they're all going to get new deals apart from Pablo Lopez. So that would be Diego Lopez, who was an academy graduate, gave a bit of game time to last season. Javi Guerra, of course, come through the academy, really solid CM and regularly in the first 11. And of course, club captain left back Jose Guy, who might now be 31, but he's still getting better and still our captain at left back. Diakawi, to be fair though, I might let him go once we've brought in 1 or 2 more players. And the board objectives for this season, for those curious, finish in a Champions League place again, reached a quarter-final of Copa del Rey after last year finishing runners-up, and in the Champions League, our first year back in it, not an easy task that, reached the last 8. But for where we spend the bulk of that budget, I did say I really wanted a world-class striker this season, and there's several great options on the shortlist, but a player that I'm desperate to use this year that I haven't given a go to yet is the Porto forward Samu. He came through the Granada Academy, I think it was, before moving on to Atletico Madrid. They quickly shipped him off to Porto, and out there he's looking like the real deal. He's rapid, he can jump, he's incredibly strong, and his finishing ability speaks for itself at such a young age. The bonus to this guy, he's 6'4". Already been capped by Spain, heck of a young talent. Let's bring him to the Mestalla, Samu. Yep, this guy is one of the biggest talents in world football right now, and I mean that both literally and figuratively, because at 6'4", this guy is a unit, incredibly strong, but also rapid and quick off the mark as well, and right now excelling in the Liga Portugal with Porto. Bro, I brought him back to Spain, now we've qualified for the Champions League, and he's a common wonder kid in this year's FC, but I haven't used him yet, so I'm really excited to give him a go for the first time ever. Coming in for £55 million, a new club record transfer fee on a 5-year, £47.5 grand a week deal. Welcome to the Mestalla, Samu. Absolutely buzzing with his signing. Again, so excited to use him for the first time, man, because he has got some incredible physical stats. I'm slightly concerned about the really poor balance and agility, but hopefully the pace should make up for that, and also the strength as well, helping him keep hold of the ball with decent ball control and dribbling, but amazing finishing stat, and also the high shot power as well. A partner for Fabio Silva, I think these 2 guys this season might be the best strike duo in La Liga. And despite making a new club record signing, we've still got tons of money to work with because of the generous budget given to us by the board at the start of the season. So because of that, I'm going to jump straight back into the transfer market and make my second signing. I said I want a great centre-half this year, and I can't wait to use this guy for the first time as well, because playing for Lazio right now, he's doing really well at the Stadio Olimpico, but in the game, he's moved on from Rome to Las Palmas in Gran Canaria, and he needs to be playing in prime time. His physical stats are unbelievable, and his technicals are fantastic. It is the Real Madrid Academy graduate Mario Gila, 25 years old, back in Spain, but needs to be playing in Europe. Let's bring him in. This guy is a class defender, and one of the best things about him is that nowadays, with so many teams operating with a high line, his rapid pace means he can recover when required. Absolutely buzzing to have him coming in, because because he's way too good not to be playing in prime time, and he will be for us as part of our back five as well. So for 32.75 million, which in modern day football is not a lot to pay for a defender this class on a 5-year deal, welcome to the Messiah, Mario Healer. Yeah, at 25 years old and 6'1", he's going to be perfect to play alongside Van Hecker and Mascara as players in their early to mid 20s in our back line. This is an absolutely class signing, and again, despite the transfer fee we've paid, there's still so much money to work with here. This squad is looking really good, and we're not done yet. So I just loaned out 2 of our academy graduates. Joaquin Castillo has gone to Boca Juniors for a couple of years, and the goalkeeper we got out of the academy, Romero, has gone to Galatasaray in Turkey for 2 years. So we need a new backup goalkeeper this year for Sanchez. Now he's the only one here. And I tried to sign Severa from Deportivo Alaves, but this is so frustrating. It's something I want EA to look into. He asked to be an important goalkeeper for us this year, aka our number 1, and it's like, mate, are you delusional? Robert Sanchez won the Golden Glove last year and was phenomenal. Of course you're coming in to be a backup, but it's so frustrating that you can't negotiate and talk to those players. So obviously that deal fell through. And I just brought back Christian Rivero, who was of course here last year, released him on a free and brought him back just to sit on the bench. He won't play, but just to sit on the bench. Yeah, it's so annoying because it's like, you know, I would not mind Severa being our cup goalkeeper this year. I'd happily play him in the Copa del Rey games. But it's like you can't give a goalkeeper a squad role like that. It's always rotation, sporadic, prospect important or crucial, just like the outfield players. But it's like, you know, not many teams operate with a rotational goalkeeper. It's very few do, but very, very few. So, you know, you should be able to say, I'll make you my cup goalkeeper for this year, you know, how about that? But anyway, there's still plenty of money in the budget, to be fair, so I don't know whether to go after some more squad players or maybe just bring in one more star. There is someone I'm quite keen on, but I'm not sure, really. Well, to be fair, we definitely will need some backup fullbacks this year for Correa and Jose Gaya. And as a veteran released by Atletico Madrid, will be a great fit for us at left back. So, released by Simeone, and now he's been picked up by Bilbao. I didn't notice that. Damn it, that's why you've got to sign your free agents as soon as you find them in the free agents pool. Sol has gone to Bilbao very quickly. He would have been perfect as a backup left back as well. Yeah, if you see a player that you want in the free agents list, don't wait until you get a full scout report. Sign them straight away, because AI clubs will poach them from under your nose before you've even had a chance to say their name out loud. So, with that being the case, there's a few left backs here I've been looking at that be quite good. Carreras is the one I really want from Benfica. That's the natural long-term success of Jose Gaya, and unfortunately, Benfica won't sell him, so really frustrating there. Then it's like Nuri, the Wolves left back who's moved on to Real Sociedad, but I think he only signed there in January, so because of that, I'll leave him there in the Basque region. But Adria Pedrosa playing for Sevilla, 28 years old, so in the prime of his career right now, absolutely rapid, and he's got great stamina as well. So as a backup for Jose Gaya, he'd be more than good enough in those midweek games when the captain needs a rest. And in the final year of his contract, should get him on the cheap. Let's bring him in. We will need a long-term successor for Jose Gaya at some point, but it's not right now. The club captain might be 31, but still my first choice at left wing back. But playing in the Champions League this season, I wanted to make sure there'd be a backup when he does need a breather. Stand in, Adria Pedrosa. Yeah, coming in on a 5-year deal for £13.5 million deal. Welcome to the Messiah, Senor Pedrosa. And when you look at his stats here as well, he's taking the important squad role. He's not going to play every game, but I think he will get quite a lot of game time because he's very versatile. He's rapid. He's got great stamina, and I could definitely see this guy playing as an LCM with those stats and decent technical ability as well. For the most part, though, he'll come off the bench for Gaia. Okay, all right. Team's looking good now, I must say. 4 new signings for the season so far. And other than a backup right back for Correa, I don't think we need to do anything more, you know. Possibly bring another centre-half if we do sell Diakabi, but other than that, I think we're okay. I think just like last season and the season prior to that as well, I'm not going to spend every penny, leave a lot of it in the budget, and let it carry over the new season. So, just loaned out Luca Abdia, that's our Maltese fullback to Real Oviedo for a couple of years. And speaking of youth players, it's the first of the month, so let's go ahead and send our scouts out for season 3. Where, as always, we'll keep one in Spain, looking for those homegrown talents. And to be fair, I said earlier, looking for a successor for Jose Gaya, why don't we look for a new left-back this season from Spain and see if we can find the next Jose Gaya? So a left-back from Spain this season, that's where we'll look. And as for the other nations, where haven't we? We haven't gone to Oceania yet, have we? And there's a few new nations this year. Now, I've done Tonga and I've done Fiji, but I haven't done Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, or Vanuatu yet. So let's go to one of those 3. Let's go to the Solomon Islands for our next 9 months. And let's look for a let's look for a playmaker. Let's look for a playmaker from the Solomon Islands and see what we can find. I do love how many new nations there are to scout, and I give EA a lot of props for that as well, because they were so limited in terms of options for a long time, but now you can go to so many new countries and it's class. So let's continue that theme of going to new countries, and I've not scouted any of these three from Central Asia yet. You've got Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. And I think I'll go with the latter as well. The scenery in this place, by the way, is so picturesque. It's a very mountainous country. And let's see if we can find someone that's got the stamina to cope with those treks across the mountains right through the middle of the park. So a CM and a CDM, hopefully, with tons and tons of energy from Kyrgyzstan as well. So it'll be Kyrgyzstan, Solomon Islands, and Spain for this year. With a week to go before the start of the new season, I'm going to make my final signing, probably of the window, and it will be that new backup right back. I've used Joshua Wagnerman and Ivan Fresneda a few times before. Wagnerman is just such a class defender, man. Ever since like FIFA 16 or 17, man, he's so versatile, and Fresneda's a great young talent now at Sampdoria as well. Unai Emery, of course, signed Andres Garcia for Aston Villa in January in real life this season. He probably does want him long term as their starting right back to replace Matty Cash and Disasi. So I'm going to go after a player I've never used before. That is Jesus Arezzo at Osasuna. Physically as well, really well balanced with enough energy too, and technically really good going forward with great ball control and crossing as well. Jesus Arezzo, let's bring him in. Now I'll be totally honest, I don't know anything about this guy whatsoever, but to be fair, his stats are really solid, and as a backup for Correa, he's more than good enough, and at 27 isn't going to decline for a while. 16.5 mil was the transfer fee we paid. I'll say that's quite fair in this market, and coming in from Osasuna on a 5-year, 40 grand a week deal. I think he'll do a good job as a backup for Correa, though once again taking that important squad role. So frustrating. Welcome to the Messiah. Jesus Arezzo, yeah, 27 years old, 6 foot, and I love the balanced physicals as well. And I just wish in the future versions of career mode you can negotiate a squad role as opposed to always having to accept whatever the agent asks for. Because he's not going to start ahead of Correa, but he will be a good enough backup and probably play the midweek game. So Arezzo is in. Whilst there is a bit of money remaining in the budget, I think I'm done for signings. 5 new players coming in. Well, 4 new players and a returning player after being released last season in our backup goalkeeper. But I'm liking the squad. The squad's looking pretty decent. In the past 2 seasons, I've left money to carry over the new season and been rewarded with bigger transfer budgets. I'm liking the squad, so don't need to make any more signings. Let's just jump into our first game of today's episode, and we'll end on this. The first game of the season, Girona away from home. And once again, the board have said this season, got to qualify for the Champions League. I'm not thinking about being involved in the title race this season. I just don't want to drop out of the top 4. So let's start off with a win on match day 1. Girona away, our first game of the season. That was fantastic. For those playing along with the homegrown rulings, by the way, I think we've got 5 for this season. Mosquera, Gaia, Guerra, the backup goalkeeper we just brought back, and I believe that Lopez counts. But if he doesn't, then it's 4, because Yarek is 21 and players that are 21 and under don't need to be registered. It's such a cool rule. I really do recommend it. You don't have to play with it if you don't want to, but it just makes things a little bit more challenging, I suppose. But in my opinion, a lot more fun and a bit more realistic as well. So there you go. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 for this year, I think. But what a counter played through Samu on his debut. Like I said, this guy, he's not just tall and strong, but rapid as well. This guy is literally the perfect physical specimen. He is going to get me at least 20 goals this season, and that is being light. I don't think he ever actually played a game for Atletico Madrid. He was signed by Simeone and then loaned out to Deportivo Alaves. Had a good year there, and then Porto bought him permanently for this season, so I don't think he ever played a game for Simeone, but I would not be surprised if he returns to the Metropolitano one day. He's a heck of a young player. And in this save, whilst he is back in Spain, he's with us. As following Balogun fires past Sanchez for the leveller before the break. Speaking of great young strikers, following Balogun, excellent talent. Balling out right now in Liga with Monaco. And I thought he was English born but represented America. But actually he was born in America. He just played a few times for our youth teams. But even so, great young forward firing the leveller, still 1-1. And we drew a Girona on the final day last season, and we might be doing the same on the opening day this year. As Mosquera loses out, we drop 2 following, rolls it across. Oh, huge block by Mario. Girona going for this now. Yasser Espria rolls it across, and Sanchez beaten again. 25 to play, Girona come from behind to lead. This sort of defending ain't going to cut in the Champions League. All that money spent, 5 new signings, and we begin the campaign off with a loss. Last year we were lucky to qualify for the Champions League. I didn't think we were ready for it personally, but if we play like that this season, we won't be back in the Champions League for next year, that's for sure. And with 2 weeks to go for the end of the transfer window, I think I might need to make another signing if we are to compete this season for a top 4 finish again. But that'll do it for today's episode and the season opener, guys. So massive thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have done, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the La Liga career mode, where we'll find out our fixtures in the Champions League phase, more games in La Liga, and again possibly a new signing as well. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.